The Congo Basin is regarded as the lungs of Africa, owing to the expansive rainforest, the second largest rainforest in the world that absorbs more carbon than the Amazon rainforest in South America. The continued destruction of forests in the Democratic Republic of Congo spells doom for Africa, especially countries like Kenya that have experienced some of the worst droughts in recent times. But is it all gloom in DRC? Not at all. Our news crew just returned from DRC and filed the following report on opportunities in the land of plenty that are, however, threatened by plenty of troubles fomented by armed groups. Here now is the second and final part of the special feature, A Land of Plenty, Trouble in Plenty. Behind the push to send troops from the East African community to aid in the pushback of the M23 rebel group and other armed groups was the urge to help the newest member and to protect strategic interests of members of the regional bloc. The region has the largest rainforest cover, and any threat to the forest poses a grave danger to the rest of Africa. The ongoing wanton destruction of trees by timber and charcoal merchants spells doom for many nations. 3 out of 5 motorcycles, or the famous scooter known in the local language as chukudu, is ferrying sacks of charcoal. These acts threaten the forest cover in DRC and the lives of millions miles away from the DRC. Owing to collapsed health systems brought about by the 2 decades of civil war, the east of Congo remains a ripe market for private health institutions to set up.
There is potential for significant sources of nationals traveling for medical reasons to Nairobi, and also encouraging our healthcare institutions to set up base here in DRC.
Sanitation remains the biggest challenge in some of these areas, leading to massive cases of cholera outbreaks. This lady here has come to visit a health center with a bout of cholera. Never mind that the previous week, it was the baby boy she's carrying who had suffered cholera.
Hapa hatupate dawa na kuko magonjwa. Ya kwanza, kipindupindu, kwa watu ambao walikimbilia maeneo zingine, wako wanarudia na hiyo magonjwa. Kuna magonjwa ya suruba kwa watoto.
This hospital lacks not just the basics of medicine, but even its sanitation state is wanting. But it is the only hope residents of Mushaki have.
Wakaaji wanasumbuka sababu ya kukosa wanganga wenyewe walikuwa wanatumika hapa, sababu ya vita walikimbia, hawajarudi.
Maternal health care, considered a fundamental right, is on its knees.
Shida sana munaona hatuna umeme. Wamama wajawazito wakati wanakuja wanawake katika giza, wanakosa blanketi ya kujifunika, banabaki muhari yenye haiko nzuri.
With a near return to normalcy owing to the efforts of the East African Regional Force, the banking sector is beginning to thrive once more. Kenya's Equity Bank remains the second largest bank in DRC, with the Kenya Commercial Bank also appearing to cut itself a niche.
I can tell you that our products are taken in very high regard.
There's an estimated 1,000 or more Kenyans living in Goma, and Kenya offers consular services in Goma.
Diplomatic relations between Kenya and the Democratic Republic of Congo are cordial and broad. DRC has a resident diplomatic mission in Nairobi and a commercial liaison office in Mombasa.
Both governments are exploring the possibility of a local airline flying daily from Goma to Nairobi instead of the 4 days a week it is currently doing. The Goma to Nairobi flight is approximately 2 hours.
In terms of tourism, there are opportunities to provide free movement of persons to enjoy the available tourist opportunities both here and, of course, back in Kenya. We're also looking at expanding the education opportunities in Kenya to enable children from DRC to undertake their education in Kenya.
The east of Goma is a land endowed with natural resources and infinite possibilities. Other than the mining opportunities available in the region, what should excite Kenyans more is the possibility of engaging in agribusiness and probably deal with food insecurity in the country. The area receives huge amounts of rainfall almost on a daily basis, making it possible to do maize, potatoes, beans and bananas in large scale. Dairy farming is equally a revenue-generating venture in the east of Congo.
We are rated as friends of the Congolese, and because of the links in terms of trade, the Congolese appreciate the linkages between the Kenyan business people and the Congolese business people.
Kenya is in the process of harmonizing its tax regime with that of DRC, as well as a visa-free deal between the two nations. The opportunities, however, are dependent on the commitment of parties in the ongoing strife in DRC to uphold concessions contained in the Luanda process and the Nairobi Inter-Congolese dialogue. The East African Community Regional Force under Kenya's command continues to hold fort, pushing back on the M23 and other armed groups in a quest for peace and stability for locals and investors in eastern DRC. The Luanda agreement settled on M23 vacating from strategic areas they had occupied in the east of Congo before the DRC government can engage them in any meaningful talks. The M23 have retreated to designated areas. John Jacob Curia, Channel 1. And that marks the end of our special report, the land of plenty and trouble in plenty. And of course, owing to the stability that is running to the region, you can also think about some of the opportunities you can take up in the east of Congo as a way of helping your country back home and indeed the DRC. Our 1 week stay in DRC ended, of course, at that note.